All right, we are live. Here we go. Here we go. What up? What up? It's the motherfucking Beat Table with LOI, and where we get producers and beat makers, and so they could tell us why they do what they do. And right here we have
Slate the Kid. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling today, man? How y'all doing?
Yeah, finally, bro. Finally. So like every other producer and beat maker that I've been fucking with and interviewing, we've had, you're not the only one that we've had like a miscommunication, because it's moving so quick right now, and it's like, oh, I thought, and I was like, I thought, and we're like, ah, oh, shit, my bad, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was actually, Slate the Kid was gonna be like my 5th interview, like from the beginning, and then it just got pushed like a week and a half, and we're just like, fuck, like it was just like a miscommunication, you know. But I'm glad I finally have you here. I love what I'm hearing.
That's what like happens though when you're like on the other side of the country. You're like, all right, like I thought this was going one way, and then it's like, hold up, wait, this is like 3 hours ahead now. What the fuck is really going on? Like everybody over there asleep right now. I can't even hit anybody up.
So you're in the future and I'm in the past, because you're 3 hours ahead of me, and I'm like way back here still. So I'm trying to catch up, dog. Like, but yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's cool. So Slate the Kid, dude. Like, where you from, bro?
I'm originally from the Bay Area, actually, from like Hayward, Castro Valley, that area. And yeah, those are my origins. That's where I grew up, actually. Yeah, because I'm a Cali boy. You know what I'm saying?
All day, all day.
Yeah.
So where do you reside at now?
So I've been living in Southfield, Michigan, which is like a city outside of Detroit, for like the past, it's like 6 or 7 months now, since like July.
Oh, you barely got there.
Yeah, no, I've barely been here. The reason why I came here really was just because I wanted a new perspective, because I've been living in California my whole life, and like I just moved out of my parents' place with some roommates, and like the pandemic just hit, and then like after all that stuff or whatever, I was just getting tired of like seeing the same things every day. So I was like, I'm gonna just take a little road trip down to Michigan, hit up the homie because he's trying to learn Ableton, and I'm gonna go teach him Ableton for a little bit. And I was only supposed to be here for the summer, and then the summer turned into like 6 or 7 months, and then I'm still here.
He hid your backpacks and suitcase on. He's like, you ain't going nowhere. He's like, you stuck like Chuck. That's dope.
Yeah, well, me and him been homies since like day one. So like since like middle school. So we've like been through so much stuff together. Got too many stories.
So he's from the Bay Area as well.
Yeah, he's from well, actually it's funny. He's originally from Michigan and then moved to the Bay Area.
Oh shit, that's dope.
Yeah, so we got roots here. So we got like family over here and stuff like that too. So yeah, no, it's been definitely an experience for sure. I'm so glad that I came here.
Yeah, that's good. When you make changes like that, and you try to like expand your horizons, I think that's just beautiful, dog. Like, I couldn't do that shit. Like at a young age, I already had like kids and shit. Like I was like, man, I gotta stay here. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how bad I wanted to go, you know, see a different avenue or something.
Right. I think I also wanted to challenge myself too, because it was interesting. I started building like a community of like, not beat makers, but I just started finding like Flip a Beat Club in Sacramento, and I started messing with them. And like I found some cats in Chico, which is where I was living, and stuff was kind of like starting to work out. And then I was like, I kind of just like want to like push myself, see if I can meet new people, see if I can adapt. How do I change, you know, if my environment changes around me, you know?
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's good. So I see you're about to perform. What is that called?
I'm performing with the group actually called Sound Sessions Detroit in.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where it's located at. I couldn't tell you that, but it's basically a group. It's really cool. It's this dude on his like MPC, and he has like a bunch of beats and shit like that. And basically what he does is he gets a bunch of musicians to play with him. So like we'll have like a drummer. We'll have
it's like a live session.
Yeah, like a dude on synthesizer, and then like he could take out the drums like out of his beats and stuff like that with the MPC. And so I was playing on my synthesizer and my stylophone, running it through the SP, like doing some like, you know what I'm saying, some
Ooh.
like weird funky shit.
Some
And
creativity.
yeah,
That's dope. That's dope. So what was it like growing up where you grew up as like a teenager and stuff? What was it like growing up over
Um, so I grew up mostly in Hayward as like a young kid, and it was nice because like we were always out. I was like in the era right before cell phones came out. So like when we were younger, we didn't have no cell phones, we didn't have nothing. My parents were like, "You want to play video games? 30 minutes a day, and you got to go outside for the rest of the day." Like no, like we ain't doing that here. And I was like, when I
there?
was a kid, I was like, "What the?" Like, come on, mom, like let me play video games all day. But she was always right though. She was like, I needed to go out and just explore the world, find my senses and stuff like that. So yeah, as a youngin, I wasn't really into music or nothing like that at all. Honestly,
Oh shit.
I'm like no musical background. I always wanted to play in the band when I was younger, but like it cost money because like it cost like $800 for like an instrument or whatever at that time for I don't know for a sax or whatever I wanted to play. My parents were like, well, we can't afford that right now, so
Yeah.
is what it is. And so I kind of went through life like I admired music. I listened to it. I listened to a lot of mainstream music. Then I like when I was a teenager, I started getting into Doom and like Earl Sweatshirt, Odd Future,
Nice.
all those kind of dudes. And that kind of like opened up my mind a little bit more and being like, yo, like they're doing some like weird shit and like they're not doing what everybody else is doing, man. And I just like picked up on that from like a teenager.
Yeah.
and uh and then in high school I just started writing raps down, just just in my classroom board, just writing some raps down. And I was like, this is some dope shit. And I started like rapping over type beats. And when I started rapping over type beats, I'm like, this stuff is cool. And I was freestyling with the homies, but I was like, man, like if I could just like produce my own stuff, like it would be way better. It would be like authentically me. It'd be my sound. And so I started working on Soundtrap. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
mod.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I started off with that, but I didn't know like rhythm or nothing. I had like no understanding. I just knew like how samples work because I listened to
Hmm.
like rap songs and I'd be like, okay, they're like chopping it up kind of. So like maybe if I just chop it up a little bit, maybe I'll like maybe I'll make something with it. And I would just chop up samples. They weren't like on time, no rhythm or nothing. It was just whatever. And I was like showing it to my friends, and they were like, "Yeah, this low key kind of trash." And I was like, you know what? Like, I needed to hear that though. I needed somebody
Yeah.
to tell me, like, hey, yo, like this is like not it. Like
Yeah.
straight up, you need those people in your life. Like
Oh
that's
hell yeah. That's what makes you so great, dude, is the honest ones. You
yeah,
know what I'm
for
saying?
real. And like having a group of people around me that wanted to freestyle, wanted to rap, also helped me too from like a young age. It was nice because like the rap culture was kind of it wasn't really big where I was from because I like went to like a suburb school in like a place called San Ramon. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's a high
No.
school called Cal High. Anyways, it rapping wasn't like huge there. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen like high school videos of people like in like circles freestyling with each other and like doing that. My school wasn't really on that kind of vibe, so I felt like I kind of had to just like make one myself, really. And that's how it's like
Yeah.
I've always felt. It's like I just got to do it myself. I really got nothing else, man.
Yeah.
For real.
So how old were you when you first heard hip hop?
Probably like 5 or 6 years old, honestly. Probably like some like
And
radio
and
stuff.
where'd you hear that at?
Just on the radio, probably. I always be looking through the radio, looking for stuff because my mom, she likes like samba music, a lot of like Selena, because she's like a Spanish teacher. So like
Yeah.
she's like all into like that stuff. But then I started
Okay.
looking through the radio and I was like, holy crap, like what is this like Nelly and like R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? Like all those dudes.
You're like, what the hell is this shit?
Dude, this shit's gas, dude. Oh, I remember when T-Pain came out. Oh,
Ooh.
oh
He,
my
he
god.
he he shifted the world, huh?
Oh, for real. And then recently I just found out too, because I remember when I was listening to him, I'm like, how does he do that with his voice? And like he uses auto-tune, but like most of it is just him singing. And I was like, when
He's a really good singer.
I found that out, I was like, oh, like
So I don't know if you've seen, but oh shit, my bad. I don't know if you've seen, but on YouTube he has fucking a a channel. I think it's like Twitch, like recaps, like his Twitch,
Oh yeah, I think I
and
know what you're talking about.
yeah, and he does like live beats, and he does live like somebody will send him like a feature, and they'll be like, "Oh, can you feature on this?" And he'll do all the Pro Tool and everything right there on the screen,
Damn.
so you can see it. And I've been watching that lately, and I'm like, "Yo, this guy's a fucking genius, man!" Like
Man.
it's insane how smart he is and how talented he is, and like when you watch people work and how they create, it's like, yo, like that's just crazy. And I'm glad he does that shit, so that way people could learn. You know, they could.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
what is it? Yeah, I like when they do that. Like Knowledge will do that too. He'll like go on Twitch and he'll like stream him like making a beat or something like that. And it's
Uh huh.
almost like they're giving you the keys to it, but then they're like going so fast and they're like doing all of it in like such a quick motion that
Yeah.
you're like, okay, like how did you get from like point A to point Z? You know what I'm saying?
They kind of clip that shit out on purpose, huh? They're like,
Oh yeah.
like yeah, this is how it started, and boom, it's done. You're like, whoa, hold on, what'd you do in between that shit? Like, that's just crazy. So, did you grow up in a big family or a small family?
Just a family of like I had like a sister. That was it, really.
Oh, so it's just you and your sister.
Yeah. I'm
That's
glad
done.
though that I grew up with the sibling because I know people that like didn't grow up with siblings and they're like it kind of like you kind of need that companionship almost, you know.
Yeah, and is she older or younger than you?
She's like a year and a half older than me.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So, like you said you started listening at a young age, but at what point were you like damn, like okay, I think I want to like take a take a grab at this. I just want to like see if like how I feel about it. Like at what age were like you
I
want to
think
start creating?
I think it was like 15 or 16 years old. Like what I was telling you earlier, like how I was listening to like MF Doom and Earl Sweatshirt and
Ah, okay.
like boom bap kind of stuff, you know, like that old not Wu-Tang Clan, a lot of Wu-Tang Clan, you know, Method
Yeah.
Man. All like I was like diving into that stuff kind of heavy. And I was realizing that I couldn't make the beats at that point, but I damn sure try and rap. So like
Yeah.
rapping was like the first avenue for sure before
Okay. Nice.
producing.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
And what was your rap name at that point right there?
Shit. I didn't. I honestly didn't have nothing. It could probably just be my regular name, Emilio. Sure, it could
Oh yeah,
be.
they're like, yo, Emilio's a spinner. That's
I
dope.
do have a
Hell yeah.
funny story though about my origin name about Slate. Like it was funny because I was driving home with my mom and me and her were just talking. And I was like, man, I can't like come up with nothing. Like I've been brainstorming for like weeks now. Like I couldn't figure out anything. And then she was like, well, what about like Slate? And I was like.
Where did that come from?
I was like, yeah. I was like, what? And then I was like, that's actually like, that's not bad. Like, I'm gonna have to consider that. Like, I'm gonna have to sit on that. And then she, like, ever since like she came up with the name, she's like, I want credits. Like, I want some of that money when you
Better
when
get
you
some of
put
them royalties. That's dope. Hell yeah. Well, big ups to moms, man. That means she had your back and shit, She had your
yeah,
back and she was with it.
yeah. She's always been down with it. She's always been supporting me. I really appreciate that, because I know
Yeah.
some people, some of my friends, like their family is like kind of like, what I'm saying, what are you trying to do with your life? And it's like, this is what I'm trying to do with my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the point that I'm at right now because my parents didn't, support my mom enjoyed what I did, but didn't support it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And my dad for sure didn't support it. So now me as a parent, I'm like, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to do this. I'm like, all right, cool, I got you. Like
Right.
whatever I need to go buy you some because my daughter wants to be a content creator. I'm like, so I went and got her like the ring lights and like a phone stand and like, like whatever she needs. And same thing with our son. Like, he wanted to be a gamer. So for his 14th birthday, we got him like a fucking sick ass PC, dude. Like
Dope.
fucking yeah, like $2,000 PC and shit. So it's like whatever you guys want to do, I mean, he's getting older. He has a girlfriend now, so he don't fucking, you already know, dog. He's, but yeah. So that's good that she supported you, dog. That's dope because that's what's gonna make you amazing, and that's what's gonna make you great because like you have the support from your family and shit.
Right. And like, yeah, you investing that in your kids is gonna pay off dividends. Like we were talking about earlier, that it's
Yeah.
like if you invest in them, like they're gonna bring you back, that love that you showed them.
I tell my daughter, bro, I'm like, because I already know she's gonna be a millionaire. I'm like, just get me and mama a guest house in the back of your mansion, and we're cool. And if you have parties, shit, we'll just join you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no biggie. Like, shit, we ain't tripping.
She's like, no, you're not allowed in. All right,
Yeah.
not for the parties.
She's like, nah, I'm gonna just get you guys your own house. I was like, I mean, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. So how old were you when you started making beats?
So, I mean, it was like a little bit after that. So, like 16, 17, like when I started like making beats and stuff like that. It wasn't like anything like that sounded good, honestly, up until like last year, to be like real honest with you. That like, I don't, because my goal was always to be like, I want to produce something that I could go back and listen to and be like, oh, okay, like this is actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy this. Like, I don't
Yeah.
like be like, okay, like I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
And that
No,
was like,
that.
no, sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And that was like the biggest thing for me at the beginning, was because I wasn't really doing it for anybody else. I was really just doing it for myself, to be like, all right, I'm going to make something that I enjoy, that I want to go back and be like, yeah, like, fuck yeah, I did this. Like, this is me.
Yeah, and that's good that you had to, like, make sure and take a look at that. That's exactly what you wanted to do. But like, how old are you?
I'm only 22.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you just said like just recently like 17, and then I just did. I was like, man, you're young still. I was like, I would have been like, yeah, like 2 centuries ago. That's crazy. So man, hey, bro, yeah, you're gonna be big, dog.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
gonna
just
be
happy I
big.
got started when I did, because even then, looking now, like seeing some people when they started and like comparing yourself, and I realized that I'm like, I can't like put myself on a timetable, because like all these people started at different times. So if I try
Yeah.
and put myself in a box right now, then like I'm just limiting myself.
Honestly, the reality of what a lot of people do is they sacrifice, dude. Like you hear the
Yeah.
stories of J. Cole where he didn't have money to pay rent for where he was staying at, so the landlord is like, all right, I'm gonna let you stay here, but when you blow up, you better come back and pay me. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have literally sacrificed, man, to, like, get to where they're at. So
Right.
I mean, as long as you enjoy what you do and you love it, and you're willing to sacrifice for it, you're gonna get a man. You're
Yeah.
gonna get what you deserve. You know what I'm saying?
For
What's
real.
gonna come to you, and which is a lot of great things. And that's what I said this year. I'm like, man, I've invested so much time on being with my family and all that, and we barely make it, like, all the time. We just barely
Right.
make it, even though we make decent money. It's just always barely making it. I'm like, man, I'm trying to go on like big ass vacations,
For
like
real.
not work for like a whole fucking year, like just chill with my wife and my kids, and so they could have something to look forward to and have like some kind of like foundation. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
Right.
this year I'm literally gonna sacrifice and invest my whole fucking everything that I got, dude.
And it's working out right now, bro. It's growing, bro. It's fucking, it's the beat table, bro. You already know what the fuck is up, bro.
Hey, but honestly, like, the reason I'm doing this, because I wanted to benefit you guys. I
Right.
wanted to benefit you guys. Like I'm trying to build this platform so people can know who Slate the Kid is, and when they hear your beats at the end of this episode, they're gonna be like, "Yo, this dude's fire! Like, I like his style," because everybody's style of beats is different. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody I've been interviewing is different, dude. Like, I swear to God, it's totally different. Like, different vibes, different style, like different rhythm, and somebody artist might listen to that and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck with this guy right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
or whoever might be like a fucking film guy, be like, yeah, I'm gonna need him for like some placements or some shit.
Yeah.
But
I've been learning about that too recently, about like filmmaking, like sound design and all of that stuff. And I had like a couple years ago, I took a music business class,
uh-huh.
and this dude was like showing me a lot of game, because he was getting into that world, that like visual arts design. Oh, sorry. That like world where like you add like sounds and stuff to design to. Sorry, I'm like stumbling over my words. Where you add sound, where you add sounds and shit to like movies and like short films and stuff like that. And I got a
Yeah.
couple people that are like making short films right now. So like I've been sending them music and I've been like asking them for advice, like how they like curate their music and how they find like exactly what they need for like certain scenes, or like how do you like dramatize something, like
Yeah.
bring out like the emotions.
But you've seen the way people do the sound effects,
Mm-hmm.
like on cartoons and movies.
Right.
Like I was watching on Instagram yesterday. This guy just had a sheet of paper, like a few sheets of paper, and I think like a metal bow or some shit. And he literally made the sounds to a little short cartoon for like 2 minutes with just that shit. I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy, dude. Like, and that's the beauty of sound. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's the beauty of sound, dog, and that's what we're in it for. You know?
Yeah. And you find that something that's like, oh, okay, like this sounds like really good. Like I'll just be like, I'll like go on like a walk or something, and I'll like catch something in my ear, and I'm like, fuck is that? Like, what is that? And then I like try and like find the sound. Sometimes I can't find it, and then when I do, I just whip out my phone. I'm like, all right, like got the sound right here, and then I just go back and like work something on it or figure out something with it. And that's what honestly has been helping me out a bunch. It's like I've noticed that as I've started to get better at music, I just pick
Yeah.
up on certain things. I'm like, okay, like what's that frequency that's like hitting there, because I've like been working on mixing and
Yeah.
engineering and shit like that too. So you really just, that spectrum of frequency is so important to the mix that it kind of like leads into other parts of your life
Yeah.
where you're like, oh shit, this is right here. Oh, that's right there.
That's crazy. So what like inspirations do you have like when you start creating a beat?
Um, right now I've like been hopping. I have like a drum kit in my place, so I've just been hopping on the drum kit, just trying to get like drum rhythms like out of my mind, because like I was telling you earlier, like I don't really have like a background in rhythm, so I'm still trying to like pick up like different rhythms and like understand different timings, because I really like African rhythms. I'm trying to learn six.
Mm,
I'm trying to learn 6/8 right now, and six
dang.
eight is such an interesting rhythm, because there's instances where it sounds like it's playing in 4, but then it'll go back to 3, and then like it'll just sound like something else, and I'm like trying to figure out like, okay, how do I hone in on this like particular rhythm?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that shit. You could be like, give me a 6/8. I'll be like, man, I'm gonna give you some dope drums. I'll tell you that. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what fucking rhythm I'm on. But hey, but that's dope that you're learning that, because, like I said, dude, I'm already at that age where I'm like, man, I'm a just chill out and just enjoy it, and just, let you guys just, have the fun. Like I've been making beats for so long, like, and honestly, I always did it for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I always did it for myself, dude. Like I was always like, man, I'm gonna just make a beat. That's just the way I'm feeling right now. Or
Right.
somebody would be like, hey, I like your beats. Like, let me get some. I'll be like, all right, cool. Or they'll be like, oh, let me get this type of beat. I'm like, I don't do that. I don't. I'll give you an LOA beat. The way you choose whatever feeling I had at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do like a type beat. Like I just don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is hard for me too. Like somebody being like that. Actually, what's funny, you did mention that. It was the first time I ever, one of the songs that I first made that I actually kind of liked. I believe it was off my first EP, Nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a song that I had made for a podcast. It was like I think it was like getting high with like Ricky Ebon or something like that. It was about like getting high podcast. So he was like, I'm looking for like a vibe. He was like, I want like a 90s, but like chill kind of vibe. And so I sent him some samples. And the first samples I sent him were like my kind of vibe, which were
Uh-huh.
like were like weird synthesizer, fucking like desert, like fucking guitar shit,
Hell yeah.
And he was like, bro, that's not the vibe. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, I want like 90s R&B hip hop. And I was like, all right, bet. And then I found like the perfect sample and I sent it to him. And he was like, this is it. And it was like the first time I had to be like, okay, I got to figure out, how am I going to like formulate this? Like, he wants this vibe. So how am I going to give him this vibe? And I chopped the sample up in the SP404, and then I like basically played out the sample, played it into Ableton, and then like layered some drums over it in Ableton, and layered like live bass over it too. Like I just layered my own bass, and it ended up sounding like really good. And it was like, wow, Like I was like, I didn't think I could do that, honestly. Like somebody
Yeah.
had to like come up and challenge me and be like, I need you to make this for me. And I was like, oh shit. Like
And I was just gonna ask you that, like, how did that make you feel that he didn't like what you created? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you put your heart and soul into what you created, and he's like, nah, I want some Nas shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did that
it
make you feel?
it was like it was a little I guess I didn't feel like super disappointed because up till that point I hadn't released like a bunch of music. So like I didn't have like a ton of stuff out anyways. And so I was just like I was very open to it, honestly.
Okay.
Cuz I was like looking for some inspiration and that was like perfect. Cuz
Okay.
he was like I need it done by this date. So I was like in my head I'm like all right, like I can't procrastinate on this shit. Like I have to do it cuz I'm like a major procrastinator.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people would have been like offended by that, but I look at it like, hey, it's gonna open up a different door in your thought creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like, making something out of like, hey, if you create this for me, I'm gonna be able to, promote you a little bit more.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's good, man. I'm glad you were able to fulfill that. You know what I'm saying?
And then that also led to like that song like led to me finishing all of the other songs I had been working on and like releasing that EP too. So like
Mm,
in reality, it was like a blessing in disguise.
yeah, beneficial.
Right. Yeah. Because it like it motivated me. It was like you got to get this done by this point. And then I was like, okay, well, what if I just apply that to my own music? Be like, all right, I got to get this done by this point. And then that was like a major like saver for me because I was having like super hard motivation problems because I wasn't like the best at what I wasn't like where I'm at right now.
Yeah, no, and like you said, it was challenging. So you were just like, all right, cool, bring it on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah, that's dope, man. Me personally, I like getting challenged. I
Yeah,
love it.
same.
I love it. I love the like the rushing. I love to rush.
Mhm.
I love to be like overbooked. Like it
Right.
sounds crazy, but like I don't like to move at a slow pace.
Hmm.
I like to move at a fast pace. So right now, like people ask me like, damn, how many interviews you got? I'm like, man, I got a shitload of interviews right now. Like I've been doing like today, I'll be doing 3 interviews.
Damn.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So it's like this whole month I'm going on like we're barely on the 15th. I've already done like 8 interviews.
Damn.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's
Stacking
like
those, man. Stacking them.
yeah, like I'm trying to put you guys on, man. I want people to know who you guys are for reals. I mean it. I
So I
really do mean it.
appreciate that wholeheartedly, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like and I'm not like this one kid hit me up. He's like, hey, like I just started making beats. Like I don't really have that many followers. Like, can I still get an interview? I'm like, you're the best one to do the interview, bro. Like, I want you to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to learn this whole fucking shit, dude. Like hell yeah. I want to learn the beginners, and I want to learn the fucking. I want to interview the beginners, and I want to interview the fucking masters. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Because
Perspective.
yeah, I want down the line, I want the beginners to be like man, like this guy gave me a chance. You know what I'm saying? He was interviewing cats that had credits with like already, big artists, and he took the chance on me and interviewed me. I'm like, yeah, dude, like that's I never got any of that. Didn't nobody care about me as a beginner? When I first started doing anything, they're just like, nah, like you just like let me know when you got like more followers, more views, more this, more that. I'm like, man, and it's funny because a lot of them like ain't doing shit.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, cool. Like I'm glad you told me that because it put fire in my ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. Like I'll interview the beginners and I'll interview the masters. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's
Yeah, it don't.
honestly that's honestly really refreshing too because I don't know anybody that's going out there and it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna interview some dude who just started, Like
Yeah,
that takes like, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of balls because you really are trying to build this community up and I see that in real time. That's why I'm
yeah.
here right now.
Because what makes them like like not how do you say like not pleasable to like the audience because they're barely beginning, but everybody just barely begin.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We're
Like you
all like
didn't,
at that point where it's like, okay, we could be way better, but we still got, we got what
dude.
we got.
I've been making beats for a long time, dog, and I learn all the fucking time.
Right.
all the time. I don't stop learning. I'm not afraid to learn. I'm not afraid to have somebody such as yourself, 22 years old, and be like, hey, don't do it like that. There's an easier way. I'm like, shit, show me. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, show me, bro, because I love that easy way shit. You
There's
know
always
what
gonna
I'm
be a
saying?
shortcut, bro. There's always gonna be a shortcut.
So what was your first like was your first creative process through a DAW like a DAW or was it through like a machine?
It was through the I don't know why it left my head. The why it was sorry, Soundtrap.
Okay, yeah, yeah, we're
Soundtrap.
just talking about
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Soundtrap was the first thing I used, but then after Soundtrap, I started. I used FL Studios for a little bit because a friend, gave me a torrent of it. So like he was like, "Hey, you want FL Studios?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll check it out." And I honestly, the thing I didn't like about FL Studios was that each individual audio effect had its own different interface. So like when you try to like use one device, it wouldn't translate to another device because the interfaces were different. So
Ah,
that was like a thing that I struggled with when using FL Studio. So I was like, well, I don't like this. And then I started becoming friends with these like musicians and like they all started using Ableton. And so I
mm,
was friends with all of them and I was like, well, why not I just get Ableton too? Because if they're working on it, I could just ask them questions or they could
exactly.
ask me questions.
Vice
Go both
versa.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like one of my homies, Kajarder, he like is, he's been like a music connoisseur. Like he knows how to play bass, fucking drums, keys, anything like perfectly. And he learned Ableton and like he has so much knowledge that if I'm like having a problem with mixing or I got a question, I'll just hop on Discord and be like, hey yo, like I can't figure this out. And then he'll be like, all right, this is what's probably going
Mm. So he's the master that we're talking about.
on. I got a couple friends though that are like that. My other homie, he makes EDM music and
Oh,
like dance
nice.
music, and he's like I think he went to like a music school in like Oregon or something like that,
Yeah,
and he like learned how to mix things like perfectly. So like his mixes are like the crispiest sounding mixes, and I'm
that's
like,
dope.
man, like that school's no joke, man. You learn so much from
Yeah.
that little experience. Crazy.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing I wish I would have been able to attend, but I never got my high school diploma. I never finished school or nothing like that. So it kind of put a stop on like me, trying to experience that. But that's dope, man. That like if you go to school and you learn like audio and shit, man,
Right. It's
that's like
over.
yeah, it is. There's a lot more. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more to learn. But my teacher is YouTube.
Hey, but honestly, YouTube is one of the best teachers out there. I don't care what no
Yeah.
one says.
If I'm stuck somewhere, I'm like, how do you? And boom, and it literally gives you like a 15-minute class, and I'm like, oh shit, all right, cool, hell yeah. But me, I'm a Fruity Loop user, man. I've been using that shit
Okay.
since man probably FL started, bro. Like
Damn.
I never went off of it. I enjoy it. It's never given me any problems.
That's what's
Um,
up.
I think they're like on FL 20 some shit. I don't know what they're on,
Sounds
but
crazy.
I stayed on FL 11 because I just love the sound of the drums. I love the way it comes out. Like it's fuck, dude. That's all I've been using is the FL 11.
That's the
But
version I have too, actually, on tour.
yeah, I
So,
love that shit, bro. Man, I'll make a beat in like less than 5 minutes on that shit.
oh,
Yeah, I'm talking about like looking for the sample and everything.
damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's that comfortableness though. When you're like with the DAW for so long and you just trust it and you haven't updated it or nothing, so it's not changing the UI and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
exactly like how you like know how to
Yeah.
figure it out. I'm trying to
And
do that with Ableton, but Ableton's like I was using standard version, and the standard version of Ableton doesn't come with everything. So I got
mm,
the Max for Live, but then that is like there's so much to it. Like I can't even like explain like how many things that they added to it, like features and stuff like that. Like you can basically build your own like synthesizer sounds like on your own with like a MIDI instrument and
damn.
you just build the wave shapes and like add LFOs and phasers and whatever you want to it,
Yeah.
and you could totally create like a unique sound with it. I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah, that's a dope thing about DAWs, dude. Like, no matter which one you use, because everybody has their opinion on every DAW that's out there. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
But once you get comfortable with your own shit, like that's dope. You could learn like so much. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, well, how come you don't use other stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. I just, like you said, I just got comfortable. You know, like
right.
I just fell in love. Like that's like being like, well, you've been with your wife for 20 years. Like, why not try something else? You know what I'm saying? Like, like that's fucked up. Like, no, I'm not gonna cheat on FL, dude. Like, I've been with FL since the beginning. But
And
yeah, that
I feel like it'd be backwards then too. You just be working backwards at that point because then you're just spending all this time trying to figure everything out when you could just be like, all right, I already know what I'm doing. I got this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, once you put your heart and soul into something, it's like, how do you back out of that?
For
You know what I'm
real.
saying? Like, how do you
Yeah.
back out of that? Like, you just like you're going all the way in on Ableton. Like, somebody was to go to you and be like, "Oh, come on, let's use Logic now." You're gonna be like, "Nah." Like,
Nah.
I already fell in love. I already fell in love with this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready. Like, feed in and everything. You know? So
Right. I honestly though, I don't mind like learning the other DAWs because it is really cool. Like when I hang out with people and they're using another DAW, and I could still because every the DAWs are like they're basically the same. They're just a
I was
little
just
bit
gonna say
different.
that. Yeah.
So like I like know how to use audio effects, not like super well, but I'm like have a good understanding of it now. So like it's easier for me to go to like somebody else's place and go on FL or go on Logic or something and just mix something. I obviously can't figure out the UI, but that doesn't matter. It's just sounds, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like they're all the same too. Like, if you figure out and you kind of like semi master like one DAW, I kind of figure out you. I kind of like look at it like you'll be able to navigate through another one
Right.
because you already know what does. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
But hell yeah. So what makes your beat so unique?
I think what makes them so unique is that I've been learning like sampling and like instruments. So like now I've like just been trying to combine like live instruments with like sampling and stuff. So I put a lot of like live bass in my music and I'll put like live like synthesizer in there too, but I want the samples to be front and center, but like if the instruments shine, I want them to shine too. So like
Mm,
I'm really trying to like be a jack of all trades because I'm learning how to play drums right now. I'm like average at drums. Like I play keys, I play bass. I don't know how to play guitar yet, but
right.
I really just want to understand like instruments a little more because sampling is really cool and I use that as like it's an easy thing to like be like, all right, I'm gonna just go sample this to be able to like use an instrument and sound like unique playing an instrument and have a good tone with it and all of that stuff. That stuff takes a really long time. So I'm trying to like speed that up right now. And that's one of
Hmm.
the reasons why I left my job was so I could just focus just on like trying to learn new things with music and try and like do different stuff because there's already stuff that I tried, but the shit that I haven't tried, I still got to do, you know?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Ryan Leslie?
No, I actually, it does sound familiar. It does sound familiar.
When you have time, YouTube him. YouTube Ryan Leslie, and he's gonna motivate you because if you're trying to do all that shit, that's exactly what he does, bro. He'll grab like a can of change and like fucking, you know what I'm saying? But he does all the instruments, guitars and pianos and drums and all that shit, bro. And I think he'll be a huge inspiration for you.
Damn, okay. I'm gonna have to check him out. What's his
Yeah.
name again?
Ryan Leslie. I'll text you when we're done. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'll text you his info when we're done. Like, I don't know him personally, but he was an inspiration for me. You know what I'm
Sick.
saying? Because
You
I
try
love
reaching
the,
out?
huh?
You try reaching out?
I'm gonna try shit. Let me get a couple more interviews in. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, hell yeah. I'm like, man, let me shit. But I'm not afraid though. I'm either gonna get a yes or a no. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Okay.
shit. Yeah, fuck it. If they tell me no, I'll be like, oh man, he responded to me. He said no. But yeah, that's crazy. So man, I'm glad, bro. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. I'm glad that you made the shift that you made, and I'm super happy that your mom was supportive, man. Like, big shout out to mom, dude. Like,
Yeah,
and
facts.
and and that's dope, man. That you're in the position that you're in to be able to create full time, and I know you're gonna do great, bro. I know
Thank
you're
you.
gonna do great. I know you're
Thank
gonna
you.
do great, and
Appreciate it.
and I have a couple more questions before we get into the saucy shit. But if I was to give you, if the beat table was to give you a blank check with no amount on there, and I said go to a website or go to Guitar Center and purchase whatever you want, what item would you get?
Just one item.
Ah, it's a blank check.
It's just a blank check. Well, right now specifically, I do need a Zoom H4n mic just because I want to record my drums and like all of my live stuff because my homies actually they all own H4n Zoom mics and they do like live jam sessions together. They got double drums. So they set up one Zoom mic like on one side of the drums and then another one on the other side, and then they put two PA systems like for like the guitars and like the bass and stuff like that, and they record everything on those Zooms. And then they throw it into Ableton and then do overdubs and layer stuff. And I'm like, man, I want to start like making my own drum sounds and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I think one of those would be sick. But I will say there is one more other thing I'm eyeing that I'm sure a bunch of other people are eyeing too. I think it's called the Digitech Electron, I believe. It's a German company, and it's an 8-voice like MIDI like synthesizer. It's kind of like the Mark II, but like on steroids, I guess. That's what everybody says.
Okay.
And yeah, no, I want to get those
So those
two
two
things.
items.
Yes.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I hope you get that shit, bro. For reals.
Hey,
That'll
bro,
be a plus. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
coming soon, man. It's coming soon.
All right. So if I was to give you a plane ticket to go anywhere in the world to focus on one album for you to create, where would that destination be?
Oof. Oh man, I definitely want to go to Ethiopia.
Ooh.
I love Ethiopian jazz music. That is one of like my favorite like go-tos, like from like the 80s and the 70s. And have you ever heard of Fela Kuti before?
Nah.
Fela Kuti, he's like one of my favorite artists from like the 70s and the 80s. He does like big band jazz. He would have like 60 or 70 piece bands
Damn.
for like sets and stuff like that. And
Ooh.
he was like a freedom fighter as well. He fought for his country. He's not from Ethiopia. I believe he's from Nigeria, but just Africa in general is it has so much like musically that I really want to explore it one day so I could go check out records, go meet artists, but definitely Ethiopia. I will say that I would love
And
going to
sample
Ethiopia.
sounds from there, huh?
Yeah, no, that would be crazy.
That'd be dope, man. All right, Ethiopia. Hell yeah, that's a new one right there. That's dope. I could see that because I could just imagine like you taking that Zoom and just recording like just insane sounds from like instruments that they use over there. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
yeah.
That
And
should
it's
be dope.
what's really cool is too, I had a roommate back in California and he like was in like an African band and he had like all these instruments and understood like about African rhythms and he was like teaching me all that stuff. And he had this one instrument, it was like a xylophone, but it was all made out of wood.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and so you would play this instrument and the tone of it was like the mix between like a wood percussion and like a vibraphone almost.
Oh, okay. Nice. Damn.
And he was telling me that like individual parts of like Africa like have unique instruments that are like just from that specific region, and he was telling me that they're only passed down from like family members too. So like you
Hmm.
will only know about this instrument if you like happen to be in this family or happen to know someone that's in this family that owns that instrument.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's dope. So, if there's something you could tell everybody that's gonna watch this, what would that something be?
Man, I got to tell them that they just got to keep on going. Like if you feel like yourself pulling back a little bit, you feel like you're not kicking yourself into gear, you really got to understand that it's like we only got this one lifetime, right? We only got what we got right now, and if we don't hold on to that and take grasp of that like when we're young, and not even when we're young, when we're older too, it's like how we building that for the next future, how we building up ourselves so that we can help out others down the line. And that's exactly what the beat table is doing. You know what I'm saying?
Shoo! And Hey, but you too, man, because, hey, exactly what you just said right now, I'm going to take your advice, bro, because I do feel myself pulling back just a little bit, because of certain things. But I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to take Slate the Kid's advice, and I'm going to fucking, like they say in Spanish, me voy a poner los pilas. You know what I'm saying?
Órale, güey. Órale, chingón.
So that's exactly what I'm going to do. But the whole purpose behind the beat table is not only to get to know our guests, but I want to fucking hear your beats, bro.
All right, bro.
This is the motherfucking beat table, baby. This is LLY, and we are right here with
Slate the Kid. You already know what's up.
All right. So I kind of like pre-listened to your beats already, so I kind of put them like in order. So I'm gonna start like with the chill one. It's still a dope ass beat, and it's called Free Range. So you guys, make sure you guys follow my boy Slate the Kid. He's an amazing fucking person, as you guys could see, and he's here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to take over the world. You know what I'm saying? So here we go, baby. Here we go.
Like that little West Coast bounce, you know what I'm saying? That little West Coast bounce.
Hey, that bass just slapped me in my face, dog. That's just stanky right there, boy.
For real.
That's a fucking vibe right there, boy. It's a beat table, baby. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you already know, man. You already know what's up, bro.
Hey, when that bass came in, I was like, whoo, that shit slapped me in my face, dog.
That dude Carter I was just telling you about, I actually sampled that song from his EP. That was off of his EP, A Few Things for You, on all streaming services. You want to go check him out?
I'm definitely going to, man. I'm definitely going to. Hell yeah. So this next one is called Left Unexcused.
Oh yeah.
Man, this one I like, but the last one I'm gonna play that one I really like, but this one's dope too. That last one I didn't think that bass was, and that switch up with the voices was gonna come in like that. That shit was nice.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, so here we go. Left Unexcused 2.
Yes. Well, I mean, I sent you the stuff on Google Drive. Like, this is all stuff from like, when I was like making the EP or whatever, and it's all like the 2, 3, whatever.
Right. All right, here we go. So this is the good one.
Slowly the interpretation emerged. Before my eyes, they appeared to be totally invincible. Strange, sinuous patterns.
For the first time, I feel them. I've experienced them. For the first time, I feel them. I've experienced them. For the first time.
Is that a ping pong?
Ping pong, bro.
That is fucking disgusting. Oh shit!
shout out to Impressionist. I got it off Koala Volume 1, bro.
Yeah.
I've experienced for the first time. I feel that I've experienced for the first time.
Still ain't the saxophone.
First. I feel.
That little breakdown at the end.
Hey, you fucking put ping pongs in that motherfucker, dog.
Bro, the ping pongs, they just fit, man. They just fit the vibe. I was like, you know what? This motherfucker needs a ping pong, man.
That's such a sick ass percussion, dude. That shit was nice. Oh my god. That shit fucked me up. Hell yeah, that one caught me unexpectedly right there. That one. Yeah, that one was dope. All right, so here we go. The last one is Speak Change into Existence. It's exactly what we're doing right now. Me and Slate the Kid, we're speaking this shit into existence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because not only us, but you guys watching right here, you guys are going to be fucking great. You know what I'm saying? This is the motherfucking beat table, baby. Here we go with the last beat.
Back with the power that can set your soul free.
Resolving it, seeing it grow brighter and ever clearer in our minds.
Me on the live bass right there. Hey yo, when I spoke change into existence, my mind left the frame, but I still keep the wisdom. Pass it off to my man, yo. How I do everything is like a CEO. Okay, be like that. When the flow go in, I'll be like whack motherfuckers didn't even show up to the attention. Maybe I get it, maybe I stay flowing, maybe I get the gimmick. Hold up, I push it off, make my shot, say I shoot them all, they ain't get it, dog. I'ma push it to the limit. No gimmick, I'm a limit. Old motherfuckers better read. Let's go. I need to go to other units first.
You guys just got an exclusive too. You guys just got a rap exclusive only on the beat table, baby. Oh man, damn, that shit. I was like, man, I thought I was at a fucking hip hop show right now and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, Slate the motherfucking Kid. Hey man, yo, big ups to you, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
Big up. And thank you for rapping on that shit. I was waiting for somebody to rap on that shit, man. I was like, man, that beat was nasty.
Oh yeah, no, that shit was cold. All three of those beats I made on the Koala sampler, actually.
On your phone or on
my phone?
Man, everybody's doing that, bro. That is fucking amazing.
Crazy.
That is amazing. Hey, thank you so much, bro. I really truly enjoyed our time talking and getting to know you. And I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, and I'm glad you ventured out to outside of Detroit and to venture out on trying to create yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this path that you're on, man, it's not a bad decision, bro. It's gonna be the greatest decision you ever made. And I'm throwing that shit out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing that shit.
Bro, you better speak it into existence, bro.
I'm throwing that shit out there for you, dog, and everybody else will too. You know, hey, we need to make sure Slate the Kid turn dreams into reality. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, anything you want to say?
I want to shout out my label. It's kind of my label. I'm a part of it. It's Dog Medicine Records. They got like live jam band shit. We also got our own rap group, Hood Milk Overdose. If you're into the funnier side of some rap shit, you know what I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
You want to have a laugh while you're listening to some rap shit. And also want to shout out Flip a Beat Club too, man, because they got me back inspired to making beats and stuff like that. Because those sample challenges were like, bro, you got to get this done. And it was like another deadline thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep on doing that. Also, shout out Duck World, too. Duck World is like, they growing fast, for real, man. Like,
that's the homegirl right there. Duck Girl, what up, what up, what up?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, no, they've been doing stuff. Like, they got a whole movement going on. And I'm trying to do that shit myself. So, like, seeing them do it is, like, really inspiring, honestly.
Hell yeah. Yeah, big ups to Duck Girl and the whole camp, the whole Duck World camp. You know, big ups to Clapsy, Ricky, B4 Lasers, Slow 90,
Mons Rock, DiBiase,
all, you know what I'm saying? So everybody's doing great things, and that's exactly what we're trying to do, dog. It's the motherfucking beat table with LAOI, and we got Slate the motherfucking Kid. We wish you nothing but the greatness, bro. All right, much love, dog. We out. Peace.